Hi, my name's Kim Brown, and today is the 12th day of our 40-day Lenten Reflection series. Today, I want to stay on the same line of thought from yesterday. Yesterday, I was talking about praying for your community, and today I want us to evaluate our community. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to pull out a scorecard and evaluate all of our relationships or our parish. What I want us to do is, during Lent, it's a time when we are more likely to pull sin and vice out of our life, and we're more likely to replace it with virtue. So what I want you to think about are those relationships in your life. Who are the people that you spend a lot of time with? Sure, your family's going to be on the list. You're going to have certain friends that make the list. Your colleagues will even make the list. Maybe there's a group that you belong to, and those people are people that you're spending time with. They're going to make the list of people that get the most of your time. So as you think of these different relationships, I want to ask you to evaluate, right? And ask yourself, is this relationship, is this person drawing me closer to God? Or is this person somebody that's drawing me away from God? Now, somebody that's drawing me closer to God, they're helping me to be the best person I can be. They're helping me to be the person that God created me to be. They're helping me to live in more life in union with God. They're helping me to be holier, right? They're helping me draw closer to God, to be in greater union with God. I think about when I was in high school that there was a friend of mine that whenever I was around her, I didn't say some of the comments that I might make when I wasn't around her. Because my talk around her was more wholesome because she drew that out of me, right? I didn't want to disrespect her by some of the comments I might say and it might be okay in front of other people. And so I was always trying to be my best self, right? For me, my friend was literally as if Jesus Christ was with me. There's certain things you know you wouldn't say. There's certain things you know you wouldn't do. There's certain jokes that would never be made if Jesus Christ was sitting right next to you physically. And yet, so often we make those comments. Even though we recognize Jesus Christ is present with us, right? The Holy Spirit is with us as we are a temple of the Holy Spirit. That God is always with us. We're never alone. But yet because we don't see his physical presence, we're okay making those comments. So I want you to think of those relationships that help draw you closer to God. And during the Lenten season, I want you to invest in those relationships. And at the same time, those relationships are pulling you away from God. Those relationships that you and those other people in your life, you're okay giving in to sin. You're okay giving in to unwholesome talk. You're okay doing things of the world and not focusing on God, right? Those relationships, I want to challenge you to come up with a battle plan so that those relationships too can draw you closer to God. Maybe you're supposed to be for those people the person drawing them closer to God. So maybe that means you're going to pull back and not give in to that inappropriate joke. Maybe it means you're going to pull back and maybe bring up what you had an experience this weekend at Mass. Or maybe you're going to bring up something that you're doing during Lent. Instead of leaving the talk to all worldly things, you're going to bring in God to those relationships, right? So there's going to be those relationships that are drawing us closer to God and they're feeding us. And then there's going to be those relationships that we should be feeding ourselves, right? And so as we draw in, we need to recognize we are a community. God didn't design each one of us to work and function in this world all alone and that when we die, we're in heaven just with him. We are designed for community. Yes, we are designed for communion with God, but we are also designed for community with one another. And so we need to each be helping one another get to heaven. We need to be helping each person here live heaven on earth. We can begin that unity that we'll have with God in heaven right now, and that's what we want to be striving for. So spend a little time evaluating your relationships spiritually, and then come up with a plan for those relationships that need some spiritual work. God is love. Let the kingdom know.